Our next two awards are for Best Producer, sponsored by The Fringe and OffWestEnd Audience Report, and Best Artistic Director, sponsored by Rococo Chocolate. I would like to welcome Nancy Whitaker and Andrew Jenkins on stage from The Fringe and OffWestEnd Report, and Frank Dunlop to present the award.
I'm thrilled to be here, first because it's a wonderful thing, this Offies created by Sophie and Diana and all their supporters, terrific. And secondly, because my relationship with the founders of this setup, Joan and Jerry, goes back a very, very long way. Though Joan would never let me get up on this stage here, so at last I'm there. We all got together many years ago, before the Fringe was the Fringe at Edinburgh, and we were all doing plays, 7 companies, on the fringes of the main festival. And Joan and Jerry had got a fantastic production there called Uranium 235, which became a legend, and it was all about the world and the mess it was in and so on and so on, and it was quite terrific. And hardly anybody went to it. But down the road, the big success was La Mama from New York, and they were doing a play about a young man who was in love with a pig. And this was the biggest success of the festival. He wasn't just in love with the pig, I mean, he was actually having an affair with the pig. But in those days, it stayed at being a lady pig because pigs hadn't come out in those days. So anyway, they were lucky because they were denounced vehemently by a lady councillor on the Edinburgh Council who called the whole thing filth. And of course, from that day forward, they were packed. You couldn't get in. But anyway, Joan and Jerry and I got very friendly. And when we got down to London, because I was the least poor of the 3, I used to take them for a late night supper at the famous Lions Corner House in Coventry Street. All we managed was a plate of tomato soup and a lot of free bread, but we were thrilled to be around and talking, and really, I mean, we could have been at the Ritz, we were so happy, because we were doing what we really wanted to do without a lot of worry about the financial rewards. And I think that's really, well, it's what this organisation here is about, and it's about what the Offies and you people are about. I think it's wonderful, everything you're doing. And so now on to the award. The nominees for the Best Producer are Richard Jordan of Richard Jordan Productions Limited, Danielle Tarento, and Will Young and Ben Monks of Supporting Wall. And the Best Producer is Danielle Tarento.
Thank you. This means incredible amount. Thank you. Last year was a pretty incredible year for me and my team, and there's too many people to thank. We were told when we were nominated that we had 15 seconds. That's gone. I would like to start off by saying a big thank you to all the venues that had me, specifically Jermyn Street Theatre and Southwark Playhouse, who have been massive supporters of me and my work, and will continue to do so this year. I'd like to thank everybody who came to work for me. We all know the constraints that we have working in Fringe and OffWestEnd Theatre, and without them, there would be no Fringe Theatre. And without Fringe Theatre, London would be a sorrier place. I'm not going to mention everybody because it's ridiculous. I'd specifically like to mention my assistant, Kagi Kerlog, who keeps me sane. And of all the people that I've worked with, I suppose a special shout out to Tom Sutherland and Michael Bradley, who make my life slightly better than it is. This is for everyone, though. Thank you.
Co-founder of the Menu Chocolate Factory with David Babani, Tarento has more than proved her worth as a freelance producer, regularly managing, financing and producing some of the most interesting and ambitious independent fringe projects around. From last year's revival of Jason Robert Brown and Alfred Johori's musical parade at Southwark Playhouse, to a new production of Philip Ridley's The Pitchfork Disney that opened just last week at the Arcola. Well done, Danielle.